Today we're in Lisbon, which is where I actually live. But what's more special about today is that I'm gonna take you guys on a shopping trip. The stores we're about to see today are pretty special. It's taken me about 2 years to put together this list of my favorite stores. And what's really curious about Portugal and Lisbon in particular is for how many of my favorite brands choose to produce their clothes here because of their sustainable methods, the likes of MF Pen and Our Legacy and Acne Studios, just to name a few. There's not that many great independent menswear stores in the city, in the country as a whole. However, that doesn't mean there's none, and the ones you're about to see today are the absolute gems. So without wasting any time of me blabbing about the stores, let's actually go visit them and see what actually makes them the gems that they are. First stop, Homecore. Founded by Alexander Guarneri in 1992 as a hip-hop clothing brand in Paris. It's been quietly building a following here in Lisbon, and their philosophy is all about harmony. Body, mind and clothing working together. The moment you walk in, you get it. Everything feels intentional. Clean lines, earthy tones, and fabrics that you can tell were chosen for a reason. They're especially known for their structured outwear and their smart casual trousers. The store houses a multitude of lifestyle items such as beard and hair care essentials, as well as accessories like hats and sunglasses. There is quite a few standout staple looking pieces, but what drew my eyes was this tank top that was entirely made of recycled denim, which I had never heard of before. Awesome to see innovation like this. I considered picking it up, but I wasn't sure about that red line on the back, so I passed. Just around the corner from Homecore, we hit Arches Global, and this is something completely different. This isn't your typical retail store. It's actually a Lisbon-based brand that specializes in high-quality custom merchandise and luxury blanks. What makes them really interesting is their focus on circular consumption and sustainability. They work exclusively with fabric mills and production facilities in northern Portugal, creating garments designed for longevity rather than fast fashion. Their pieces are the kind of elevated basics that other brands wish they could make. Heavyweight tees, premium hoodies, and accessories that feel substantial. It's all about quality over quantity, and you can immediately feel the difference in the fabrics and construction. The store feels like your tiny neighborhood hole-in-the-wall type establishment due to its size, but don't let that fool you because their blanks and basics look and feel incredibly premium. Next up, Parlamento on Rua de Boa Vista. Founded in 2019, Parlamento describes itself as a council of niche and familiar brands, and you feel that immediately. They stock everything from Carhartt and Stussy to Braindead and Aries, creating this intimate yet open environment where streetwear culture meets contemporary fashion. It's the kind of place where you go in for one thing and leave having discovered 3 brands you'd never heard of before. And right across the road from that is Plus 351, a brand that's pure Lisbon DNA. Founded by designer Ana Penha Costa, it's inspired by the perfect blend of city life and Atlantic proximity that defines this place. The space is absolutely beautiful, funky fixtures hanging from the ceiling, thoughtfully decorated throughout. And they share a space with Marquis Bakery, which is just genius. I didn't grab a pastry just because this was the last stop before lunch, but honestly, more stores should do this. What makes Plus 351 special is their commitment to being 100% Portuguese, designed in Lisbon, made in the north of Portugal with organic cotton. Everything has this laid-back unisex fit that's inspired by surfing, music, and the arts. They produce in small batches with some pieces limited to just 100 units, and you can absolutely feel that attention to detail in every piece. Alright, so just walked out of Plus 351 right behind me, getting pretty comfortable here, and it's time to grab some lunch. Tell you what, walking around Lisbon is pretty tiring. If you've been here, you know it's pretty hilly. So a hot tip from me, great way to get around in the city is by renting scooters. There's this app called Electra, which I have been using consistently over the past 2 years, and I can highly recommend that. You avoid traffic, it's just the same price as with Uber, so yeah, get on it. All right, let's go get some lunch, and then we continue with the second part of the shopping trip. Quick lunch stop at Bibs for these incredible pastrami sandwiches. This place opened back at the start of April and I've wanted to try it ever since. Today was the day and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. It's a tough call who takes the best pastrami sandwich in Lisbon between this and Let's Pastrami, so I'll just say they're different and equally delicious. With this incredibly delicious sandwich safely taken to my belly, it's time to head to the next store, which actually happens to be my favorite of the bunch. It's definitely my favorite Portuguese brand called Fairly Normal, and they actually have 2 locations. We're heading to their flagship store first, and then we're heading to something called EmbaiXada, or the Embassy, which is actually probably the biggest gem of them all, having all independent Portuguese brands in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful building. So stay tuned for that, and we'll make our way there right now. We headed to Fairly Normal's flagship store, and I have to say, this is my absolute favorite Portuguese brand. Fairly Normal is an independent brand that's all about high quality, responsibly made garments. What makes them special is how they blend surf culture with traditional menswear and urban style elements, inspired by both the city and Portugal's incredible coastal landscape. Now, I've surfed once in my life, and I'm far from your typical surfer dude, and yet this brand has such a strong appeal to me, which just goes to show how well they execute and make the brand approachable and very nonchalant. I didn't end up trying anything on today, but there was this light shirt that seemed absolutely perfect for the summer heat, so I might have to go back and pick that up. Here's a quick sneak peek to their other location, so stick around to find out where that incredibly beautiful space is. From there, we jumped on some Electra scooters, not sponsored by the way, just genuinely good fun, and made our way to the EmbaiXada. Without a doubt, this is one of Lisbon's most beautiful shopping galleries, housed in this stunning 19th century palace in Príncipe Real. Honestly, worth visiting even if you're not shopping. First stop inside is Ishto. These guys are known for wardrobe staples with serious ethical stance. Everything's made in Portugal, and they're completely transparent about pricing and production. And when I say completely transparent, just take a look at this. All I'll say is that more brands need to adopt this. Think heavyweight tees, chore jackets, Oxford shirts, all very refined and versatile. If you're trying to build a capsule wardrobe with classic fits, this place makes it almost too easy. Just downstairs from that is Fairly Normal's second location. Same design language as the flagship, but this feels more curated, almost like a welcoming showroom version. It's a smaller space, but the layout really lets you appreciate the fabrics and construction details. If you missed the main store, this gives you a perfect overview of what they're about. This was my first encounter with the brand back in 2023, and since then, I've loved coming back here to experience their new collections in a more intimate setting. And last but most definitely not least, the Fitting Room, probably Lisbon's most well-known concept store, and for good reason. They focus heavily on independent brands, mostly European, mixing footwear, accessories, home goods, and grooming. The vibe is more urban, trend-aware, but still very, very refined. You find local names like Fairly Normal and Gandea, alongside international ones like Colorful Standard, Reigns, or Carne, but also small batch labels you've probably never heard of. It's basically a one-stop shop for exploring Lisbon design in a modern context, and I would highly recommend you do yourself the favor and come browse the store. The staff is really friendly, and a huge added bonus, they have a cafe inside. Would have been rude not to indulge, so I grabbed my final espresso for the day and sat down for a bit, after which I picked up a shower gel from maleugccreator. This is one of the few places in town you'll find this brand, so that was convenient. And just like that, we're done. It is around 2:30 p.m. right now, and we went into the first shop at around 11. So in roughly 3.5-4 hours, we've basically seen it all. And unlike my 2 Tokyo videos that took literally 3 days to film, we are done in less than 4 hours. And we had lunch in the middle of that. So I call that great success. I didn't end up buying anything today, even though there was a couple of shirts that I could have easily picked up, but I had to restrain myself because I definitely have enough shirts for the summer. So let me know down in the comments which other cities I should go and find the best shopping spots for independent menswear. I'd love to do that. With that said, if you enjoy my content, please do like and subscribe because I have plenty more fashion content coming your way.